Hello and welcome to this week's vlog. It's Sunday the 17th of December and today I'm just going to have a quick look around the plot and see if I can start making plans for next year. What I'm going to put in what beds, what I'm going to grow, what grew well last year, what I maybe want to grow more of or less of. So I'm just going to have a quick walk round, see the beds, and then I can make a plan from there on. So let's go and have a look around now. At the start of the plot we've got the asparagus bed. I've just trimmed these down and next week I'm going to cover it over with some manure. So that bed is pretty much going to be permanently asparagus now, so there's not a lot to do with that, just keep on top of the weeds. Here is where I grew the sweet corn this year, so I won't be growing that again in this bed this year, but I'm not quite sure what I'll put in yet. That's where all the comfrey will be grown, so come spring that'll leap back into life, and I need to do something with this area across the back here. It's not really part of my plot, but as it grows onto my plot I've just got to keep it tidy. So I'll have a look in the polytunnel. Along the side of the polytunnel I've got the strawberries that I've covered over, so I'm just going to leave them in over winter. There's also dahlias in there and lupins and all sorts of flowers, so hopefully they should all survive winter and come up next year. And then we've got another flower bed here, so there's not a lot to do for this section. Basically this top half of this plot will literally look after itself. Into the large polytunnel, at the moment I've got the garlic in here, and when that comes out in the spring this is where I'm going to grow the tomatoes. What I'm thinking of doing is growing tomatoes all up this side and possibly melons along here. I'll either put them in here or I'll put them in one of the greenhouses. Hopefully they'll do a little bit better this year, well next year sorry, as they've just rotted off last year, but I think I know what to do. I'm going to mound them up and put them in bottomless pots so that the root ball isn't getting wet and rotting off. It's the foxgloves and the strawberries which will be going out in the spring, and there's a few of the broad beans have come up. Not many, but there'll be enough there. There's another small bed. I think that'll be ideal for salads and things like that. It's quite close to the polytunnel, so I can keep an eye on it. It's a raised bed, it's no dig, and it's had a good covering of rotted horse manure, so I'm just going to leave that till spring and I can decide what I put in there. Here's the heart of the operation, the compost bays. I've put the compost that we bought has gone into there. I've also got another bulk bag there, and then these two bays, this is just full of horse manure and leaves which are rotting down, and this is the one that I use regularly. As you can see, I've just topped it up with loads of brassica leaves. As you saw last week, I've just made 2 raised beds in this greenhouse, so as I may put the peppers in here next year because it gets lovely and warm, and I'm just going to keep the staging so I can have some peppers in the ground and then grow some on the staging, so hopefully they'll do well in here. I've got these 5 beds up on the centre of this plot, and they've had brassicas in this year, and there's some parsnips at the end of there, so next year I won't be putting any brassicas into any of these beds, just to give them a little bit of time to recover, a bit of crop rotation. I've got onions in here, I've got the red onions and the white onions, so hopefully they're going to do well. And then I've got another bed of onions in here, protected by the enviromesh, so we can hopefully keep the allium leaf miner away. We'll wait and see. And then these were just the excess. This is a big bed. I think this is going around. We're going to put the pumpkins and the squashes in next year, and then we've got the fruit cage over there. I've got to dig out all the raspberries because they've all got mingled into each other. I've got early fruiting and late fruiting, and they're all mixed up, so I'm going to divide them. I'm going to put the early fruiting down one side and the late fruiting down the other side, and then in the centre I'm going to put my currant bushes and things like that, and I can grow the peas where I grew them last year. So that's what my plans are for this plot. Let's go and have a look at the other plot. So starting off in the brassica cage on plot 2. Got some purple sprouting broccoli. I've been taking pickings from this as and when I can. But to be honest, quite a lot of it has gone to flower before I've had a chance to get in. And what I did with the bed earlier on in the year, I covered it with a 2-year-old rotted horse manure, so that's what's underneath all this black sheeting. And I've just been through today, tidied it all up and put posts in because they're getting blown all over the place in the weather. So there's a few more there, a couple there, and these are the calets. I'm not 100% sure what they're supposed to look like. I assume that they're doing what they should be doing, but the problem is they're all covered in whitefly, so I'm not sure we'll get a harvest off them. But I think you can eat the leaves from the top, so we'll probably get more of a feeding from them. Hopefully I should be putting some on my Christmas lunch. Right, so that's the brassica cage, and next year I'm just going to put more brassicas in it. And I'm going to lime it though, because we did have a little bit of a club root in this area, so I'm going to lime the plants as I put them in. And one of the guys told me to put a little bit of salt around the outside for the minerals, so I shall do that with the brassicas, and hopefully next year they'll be a little bit better. There's a few parsnips and a stray leek that are still in there. I should be taking those up soon. And then we've got the 7 beds on plot 2. With that bed that's currently got the onion sets in, when I grow my onions from seed, I'm going to fill the rest of that bed up and potentially the one next to it. And then I'm going to use the 3 beds over the top section to grow the potatoes, and I may possibly put potatoes in this one as well, because there's never been potatoes in here as far as I know. So I may do one bed of first earlies, 1 bed of second earlies, and 2 beds of main crop, just so I don't run out of potatoes. I need to tidy this area out at some point. It's a bit of a mess. It won't take too long. Most of it's just broken and mangled bits of plastic and metal, so I could take most of those to the council tip. Tidy up this bit of a bench. Still not sure what to do with this area. I'm going to put another path down there, and I might just cover it over and wood chip it, have it as a work area. And then we've got the pond that I put in a few weeks ago. The rhubarb crown's just starting to pop through. I'm going to put some I might put some manure on top of that as well, just to feed it. The fig tree that I thought was dead is still holding on. I didn't get any figs from it this year, but I wasn't expecting to. And then these are just a few strawberry runners that I found and just put them in there, out of the way really. Can't see any signs of life in there just yet, but hopefully come spring it'll all come to life once it's all planted around. And then the final stop is the second greenhouse, which is where we've had the problem with the rats, but there's nothing in there for them to eat now, so hopefully we won't be seeing them. So again, it does get quite warm in here because it gets the sun all day. So this is another potential area that I can put some chilies and melons in. But I'm gonna count up all the beds that I've got, see what I want to grow and see how much room I need for each crop. So we've had a bit of a look around the plots today, and I'm going to start planning what I want to grow next year. There was a lot of crops, as I said, that I grew that I didn't really use, and then there was others that we ran out of halfway through the year. So I'm going to increase the things that we do use and get rid of some of the things that I just grew for the sake of growing them. So hopefully next year will be a little bit more productive and aimed at the crops that we're actually going to use and not wasted. So yeah, I'm going to get on with that over the next couple of days. I'll get my seeds on order. And so all that remains is to say thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. And Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. Goodbye.